Assalamu alaikum, Raja Amar on my channel RU Speaks, and I speak for you all on the subject of Pakistan studies, IGCSE and GCE O-levels. And today we are going to start the new unit, that is the Climate of Pakistan. As in the last lesson when we were discussing about the topography, we just finished that unit by explaining the coastal areas and the Indus Delta region of Pakistan. Now moving on to the next unit, that is the Climate of Pakistan, and in this unit we must first know that what Cambridge says about the unit and what sort of topics you are supposed to cover. And here is the syllabus in front of you, and you can see that the candidates should know the distribution of temperature, that in which areas there are really very low temperatures and in which areas the temperatures are really very high, and what are the reasons for that. And then the rainfall systems, and as we know that in this whole of the unit the rainfall systems are 5, but the syllabus says that you are supposed to learn about monsoon, western depressions, and convectional currents. So this shows that now the relief rainfall and tropical cyclones, they are excluded, right? So it means that now the syllabus says that relief rainfall is not part of your syllabus, and in the same way the tropical cyclones, they too are not the part of syllabus. So there are 5 in all: monsoon rainfall, western depressions, convectional currents, and relief rainfall and tropical cyclones. But out of these 5, only 3 are making your syllabus content. Okay, now what else? Second bullet point, the students, they should know seasonal and regional variations that and the factors contributing to them, including depressions, thunderstorms, and cyclones. Here comes the factor of thunderstorms and the western depressions, thunderstorms, and tropical cyclones. The students must know the seasonal and regional variation, that the changes, they occur because of the seasons, and the changes, they occur because of the regions, different regions of Pakistan, and the factors contributing to them, what leads to them, if something is happening, why it is happening, what are the effects of that, what are the consequences of that happening. So all these they must know. Understand the causes of monsoon. Knowledge of the causes of other types of rain is not required. That why the monsoon rainfall is created, how it is created, I mean Bay of Bengal or the Arabian Sea, you should know only that. Only the creation of monsoon is required. How western depressions are created, not required. How convectional currents are created, not required. How relief rainfall is created, not required. How tropical cyclones are created, not required. Only and only monsoon, that's it. So out of these 5 rainfall systems, you should know only major part of the monsoon rainfall, that how it is created, what are the major impacts of it, and how it affects the economy positively or negatively in any way. But the others not required. Next point. Describe and explain the characteristics of the climate of the arid, semi-arid, humid, and highland regions. So in this particular point, it is being talked about the climatic zones, and this is our today's topic, that climatic zones are being discussed, that in the highlands, lowlands, arid, semi-arid, humid climates, what sort of climatic conditions are there and why. So including seasonal variations, that what sort of variations they come in the highland region, lowland region, humid regions and semi-arid and arid regions. Know the influence of latitude and longitude on the day length and climate. So this is being talked about the climatic elements. So we will discuss them today as well. Just after discussing this syllabus content, then I will move to the climatic zones and climatic elements. Understand the influence of the climate, both the benefits it brings and the problems it causes on the economy and the lives of the people. So now we are going to talk about the influence of the climate on the including the positives and the negatives on the economy of Pakistan and the lives of the people over here. The influence of low temperature, ice and snow on the lives of people in the mountains. So given some example that how the influence will be assessed, that if there are really very low temperatures in the mountainous regions of Pakistan, what will be the impact of these low temperatures on the lives of the people because of snow falling, because of ice and because of other climatic conditions over there. Then the influence of rainstorms and flooding on agriculture, industry and communication in the plain areas or in the Indus plains or elsewhere in the lower areas from the mountains. The problems caused by drought, shortage of water, supply on agriculture and industry. So if we talk about these 2 points, they are related to the climatic hazards. So they are also part of your syllabus. So if I move down and just look around, if there are no, the syllabus says that up to this point you should know about. So it means that this is all you know, and you are supposed to know that the temperature and rainfall distribution of monsoon, western depression and convectional currents, but not of relief rainfall and tropical cyclones, seasonal and regional variations, factors contributing to them, including depressions, thunderstorms and cyclones. Understand the causes of the monsoon. Knowledge of the causes of the other types of rain is not required. Describe and explain the characteristics of the climate of the arid, semi-arid, humid and highland zones, including seasonal variations. This is what we call the climatic zones. And then know the influence of the latitude and longitude on day length of the climate. So this is regarding the temperature variations. This will be our tomorrow's topic. And then the influence, climatic elements we all discussed, and then the climatic hazards. This all makes your syllabus content for the unit Climate of Pakistan. So now let's move to the presentation. So here we have the climatic zones first. There are 4 climatic zones in Pakistan, and highland climate, lowland climate, let me make the pointer a bit broader, highland climate, lowland climate, coastal climate and arid climate. So highland, mountains, lowland climate, plains and plateaus, coastal climate, the coastal areas of Pakistan, as we were discussing them yesterday, Sindh coast and Makran coast. Arid climate, the climate of the deserts. Right? So as we have studied the things in topography, now we are going to apply it on the climate, right? That in what sort of topographical features, what sort of climatic conditions are prevailing over there. This is what we are going to discuss now. So here is a very good map given in your textbook as well, that the climatic zones in Pakistan. So you can see here A, B, C and D mentioned. A, B, C down over here and D given in two different regions. Okay, now first if we talk about A, let me be with red color for A. If you just look around, Himalayan region, Karakoram region, Hindu Kush region, Western Mountains, Safed Ko, Waziristan Hills, Balochistan Plateau, Toba Kakad Range, Central Brohi Range, and down towards south west towards Iranian border. This whole shaded area is having the climate what we call the highland climate. Over here in the key you can see that the highland climate is mentioned for A, and this whole region has the mountains as major part of the topographical features. Now if we move towards the characteristics of that climate, that what sort of climate is there, it is mentioned over there in that region. Cold winters, I should say very cold winters. Very cold winters, mild summers, I mean pleasant summers. Pleasant summers, and it rainfall in all season. I mean in mountainous region all the year through. So in A region it rains right from here in this region throughout the year, right? But when we move southwards in this region, the climatic conditions, they change a bit. And how they change? The intensity of the rainfall, the intensity of the severe climatic conditions declines, right? How? If we come over here in this region, cool to cold, up over here it was really very cold because of the snowfall during winters, making the whole of the region really very cold, and the summers are pleasant. But over here the climatic conditions, they change a bit, cool to cold. It means that the intensity of coldness has declined, and then mild to warm winters. Winters have mild to warm summers. It means that these summers are becoming a bit harsh, warmer, not like really pleasant, but becoming a bit warm. And in this region we experience the winter rainfall only because of the western depressions coming from the Mediterranean Sea across Afghanistan and Iran. So this region gains only rainfall through winters, but up over here it was the rainfall all the year through. So even in the single climatic zone you have find certain variations. This was being said in the syllabus that you should be knowing those variations in temperature and rainfall in different regions of Pakistan. So it's all A, but still the variation is there if you compare these two. These areas are really very cold and these areas are quite mild in comparison with those. Okay, in the same way, now talking about the region B, cool winters, hot summers, monsoon rainfall. If I go to B, it is known as lowland climate, and we have studied in the topography unit. This all is Indus plain and some parts of Balochistan as well. This is the difference only if we compare it with the topography. This whole one is Indus plain, fine, that is okay. We studied the same way as I am just identifying it. But when we talk about this small region, this is being added up over here in the climatic zone 2, that is the lowland climate. So the characteristics of lowland climate is that as these are the plain areas, and we observe that there are hot summers over here and cool winters, not really very much cold or severely cold. We do not experience the temperatures below 0 degrees Celsius, but we experience the winter temperatures between 0 to 10 degree, right? But not below 0. So it means that we can say that these areas are quite less cold in comparison with A, right? You may be asked to compare the climatic conditions of highland climate with the lowland climate. So you should be knowing that cool winters, over here we have very cold winters. Here we have very hot summers. Here we have pleasant summers. Here we have rainfall in all seasons. Here we have rainfall only during summers, that is monsoon rainfall. So this is how you can be asked a question like compare and contrast the climatic conditions of the highland with the lowland. At times you may be given some names. For example, might be given the maps of two cities. For example, the city of Gilgit, and you might be given the map of the city of, for example, Faisalabad. So these two regions, one is in the highland region and this one is in the lowland climate region, right? So comparison, it means that you are supposed to give the comparison of this thing, right? To explain that what are the climatic variations or differences in Gilgit in comparison with Faisalabad, then you are supposed to talk about these two, as Gilgit comes in region A over here and Faisalabad comes in region B over here. Okay, now talking about B, that in B region, cool winters, hot summers, monsoon rainfall explained. But if we move downwards, southwards in this region B, we see that the aridity increases, dryness increases. It means that the upper regions, as given a bit blue on the map, this region, you can see the bluish sort of color, and the key says the bluer color, as the color is bluer, the rainfall factor is more humid. It means that this region gets more rainfall. But if you can observe that as we are coming down, the blue color is getting lighter and further lighter. So it means that the aridity increases. It means that dryness increases when we move down southwards in this region and making this region a bit dry and semi-arid sort of zone. Semi-arid. This region is semi-arid. Only talking about B, not some other region. So this region is semi-arid, semi-dry region. And you can see that it says semi-arid, right? This region is quite humid as it gets monsoon rainfall. So because of the monsoon rainfall, this region is quite okay for agriculture and for the availability of water of industry and for power generation. But down in south, we find dryness a lot. So these are the characteristics of B region, and you should be knowing that which areas are they. For example, you can talk about that the northern Punjab, some parts of Kashmir, moving towards central Punjab, and a bit of western Punjab. Up to this point, it is quite humid, having a lot of rainfall during summers. But as we move towards the lower Indus plain, the aridity prevails at the larger extent in comparison with the upper Indus plain. Okay, now talking about region C. Region C, coastal areas of Pakistan down in south, mild winters, warm summers. So it means that it is a 50-50 situation, right? Mild winters, warm summers. So it shows that the overall difference in the temperature of summers and winters is not much. Not much. It means that if I say what we have observed that at the coastal areas of Pakistan, if we get the example of Karachi city, the average temperature of winters is 17 degrees Celsius and the average temperature of summers is 34 degrees Celsius. So the difference is quite less, 17 degree. But if we compare it with B region, for example, the average temperature of winters is, for example, 8 degrees Celsius and average temperature of summers is 40 degrees Celsius. The difference is of 32 degrees Celsius, 40 minus 8. So it means that when there is really very little difference in the winters and summers average temperatures, we see that those areas are known as humid areas, and it is the greater impact of humidity because of the sea breeze, and that sea breeze factor is known as the maritime effect. Maritime effect. So we will discuss it later as well. So maritime effect is the one which does not allow the greater temperature variations or greater temperature changes on the coastal areas of Pakistan. So this is about C, that the hot and humid climatic conditions are there, and because of the humidity, the temperatures they remain in 30s, but humidity, I mean the feel like is quite high. I mean temperature might be 34 but feel like might be 46. So that's why there would be the factor of humidity over there in that region. Okay, now talking about the region D. As we were discussing yesterday, day before yesterday, regarding the deserts of Pakistan, as I explained that this is Cholistan desert, this one is Nara desert, and this where exactly D letter is written, this is third desert of Sindh, and in this region on the western side towards Afghanistan and Iran, this region is Haran desert region, again denoting as D. So it means that these are arid regions, very dry regions. These are deserts of Pakistan, and they experience really very low rainfall in that region, and they are very dry, and life is really very harsh over here. So what sort of climatic conditions are there? Mild winters, just really very sort of mild, not really very severely cold winters over there, but I say very hot summers in that region. This and this both I'm talking about. If I'm discussing this D point, it means that it applies to this D as well. Then extreme aridity. It is said that in Thar Desert, over here in Sindh province, it rains after every 7 to 8 years. This shows that how dry the region is. In the same way, this region of Balochistan over here is quite dry, as we were discussing that this area gets rainfall due to western depressions, but that is really very low rainfall. That does not fulfill the needs of the area, so making that region quite dry all the time. This is how all the 4 climatic zones of Pakistan are, and their characteristics, that in which area what sort of climatic conditions are prevailing over here. Hopeful that the things are clear to you all. Now talking about the climatic elements, we'll just give an overview of these climatic elements over here in this today's topic. Then we will discuss them one by one in the coming lessons. Okay, now the climatic elements, the elements which bring climatic changes or which make the regions distinguished or create differences with the other regions, those elements are known as climatic elements. The elements which bring climatic changes or make one region distinguished from the other. Those elements are known as climatic elements. So here these elements are 4 and they are mentioned over here: temperature, rainfall, pressure, and winds. Temperature. As what we see, that there is the large spread of latitude, that Pakistan is from 24 degree north to 37 degree north, right from I'm going to draw the map of Pakistan. Right from north to south, or if we say from 24 degree north to 37 degree north. So this is the larger latitude from here to here. This brings the temperature variations. Here we have the sea level, and closer to the sea level the temperatures are higher, and if we move away from the sea level, the temperature falls. So larger spread of latitude, I mean, as we know that as we get away from the equator, equator is down over here. If I say this is equator 0 degree line, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In this way, if we move up over here, we come to 24 degree and Pakistan starts, and from 24 to 37 it's Pakistan. So if we are getting away from equator as much, the temperatures would be lower as much, right? So as far we are going away from the equator, as below the temperatures would be. So this is the concept. Then diversity of relief. We see the sea level down over here at Karachi and the coastal areas like Makran coast and Sindh coast, and we see the 8,000 meters high K2 and other mountains up over there in the north as well. So the number one factor was latitude, and number two factor is the relief. I mean the mountains are there, so they are making the temperatures lower. Then these are the two factors which are related to temperature. Then rainfall. Rainfall, we have 5 systems as already discussed in the while explaining the intro or the syllabus. Monsoon rainfall, western depressions, convectional currents, relief rainfall, and tropical cyclones. We will discuss them one by one in the coming lectures. And wind pressures and winds. And you know, all I say, these two, they are dependent upon these two. They bring changes in rainfall and they bring changes in the temperature. So it means that these two factors are much important and they are the real factors behind these two, right? When we will be discussing the monsoon rainfall and western depressions and the convectional currents and all this, we will discuss these very important factors, that is the pressures and winds, that what is the low pressure and why low pressures are created, and because of those low pressures the winds blow in what direction and what sort of climatic changes are brought over here in that region where these winds blow. So up to this point we are having the climatic zones and climatic elements. So this was our today's topic, and very much hopeful that you must have understood certain points related to this one and the syllabus overview I have given you. And inshallah in the next lesson we will talk about the first factor, that is the temperature. We will talk about the temperature variations, that why there are certain variations come over here to bring changes in the temperature of different regions of Pakistan. So these are only two, but we will discuss few more over there, right? So up till now this is over from my side. Do not forget to subscribe, watch, like, share and comment on the video. Thank you so much.